to some, they have very good stories of how they started from scratch and built their empires to profitability. And that's the reason why Business Kenya and MC Moments have partnered to bring you Biz Talks. Biz Talks. And here we shall be hosting mentors, people who have gone ahead of us, people who have created these empires, people who have also on the verge of creating these particular big businesses. And these lessons will be valuable for you, the business person, for you, the aspiring business person, the entrepreneur, so that at least you can make wise decisions when it comes to building that business. So every Friday at 8 a.m. on all business platforms, that's the Facebook and YouTube channel. All right, good morning and welcome, business people, entrepreneurs, even the employees somewhere making this country move and doing whatever you need to do at least to ensure that you have some bread on the table. I want to salute everybody who is doing that all over. And you know what? This is wave number 3. Wave 1 has come, hit us. We tried to come back. Wave 2. Now this is wave 3, and I hope you just keep it safe. You know, of course, that social distancing, sanitizing, of course, avoiding these crowded places and all that. It's very, very important. I think there's no other better way of stressing that. Now, today we have a very interesting subject that is relevant for us, especially now, because we're talking about bouncing back and thriving. I know everybody wants to do that. I know, because there's so many businesses that have been hit. People have been hit, their pockets have been hit, others laid off in companies and all that. And you're really thinking, how do I turn around and bounce back? Welcome to Biz Talks, conversations that we hope will shape you and grow you to become even better in what you do. Now, on the set today, I tell you, we have an amazing lady. I met her about 2 years back. She's an author, and guess what? I'll be telling you about the title. The title of this book, Amazing Stories That You Better Grab That Book and Read. I'll be introducing her, but first, you'll get to know her as we have a cup of Melvin's tea. Joyce, good to see you.
Good morning, Mina.
Very well, welcome to the set. And as usual, we normally have to get something to drink. And from the beautiful box that you can see here, courtesy of Melvin's. Oh, you already have, what do you want?
I know what I want.
That's pepper tea. And I can see you're in some pepper as well. This is very nice. So what you'll have to do is that you will tear it yourself, because we're also trying to be as safe as we can, you know, serve it yourself. But please open this cup for me. I want to serve some hot water for you. How have you been?
Great, Mina. 2 years later.
2 years later, right?
Yeah.
It's important that people get to know that we have also met in some other networking forums where we have been talking about business. But we'll be talking about that later on. I hope you're keeping safe from wherever you are. You know, I have lost a close friend in this season. And that's why I'm telling people that, you know, do as much as you can to take extra caution, especially during this season, because it is important. So to all our viewers, if you're on Facebook, please click on that share button, because we need to help people bounce back and, you know, get to know how to maneuver these trying times. So welcome once again. Joyce, it's good to see you. I hope your purple tea is coming up well.
Yes, I'm hoping to see the color purple.
The color purple. I don't know, guys, I can see black tea. I don't know, there's a black tea I was introduced to here by Flora. It was really amazing the way they make it there. It's not just normal tea, it's the way it's rolled up and all that. Is that black tea?
Black tea.
I think, guys, allow me to just spoil the set and just make myself one out of this. But anyway, so you told me that you're doing well, and I'm sure our viewers can't really wait to know who is Joyce. So in your own way, could you kindly let the viewers get to know who is Joyce?
So I like to introduce myself
as
a repeat entrepreneur.
Okay.
And for someone who went through school, not repeating, you know how that was such a kind of a big deal in the 80s?
Yeah.
I like to say that I'm a repeat entrepreneur, because it doesn't mean that when you're successful in school life, it will automatically become successful in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Everything just has a different set of rules. So I like to introduce myself as someone who's tried business before, failed, and now I'm on a bouncing back journey.
Wow.
So who better to talk about bouncing back?
Wow, you're right, because, you know, if you've experienced it, then you're better off as a person who has really seen it all, sharing it as well. So thank you so much for coming. And, you know, Joyce, I must start by saying this is a tough season.
Yeah.
Tough season for majority of the business people, for majority of even business owners, because first of all, you can imagine they are laying off people. They have laid off. Some are now doing second cuts. COVID is crazy. We have seen from examples. I think the latest one is South Africa. South Africa has now decided they're going to put the country on lockdown again. Yeah. We have seen this in the European countries, the UK, and most likely, I don't know what is going to happen here, but from the look and the sounds, I saw CAPS as well saying that, you know, we need to, you know, increase the curfew hours and all that. So it's really hard, if I may call it that, for business owners and even for people who are employed working in these businesses. I don't know what's your take on this. Do you think this is a seasonal thing from where you sit, or are we bound to brace ourselves for tough times?
This year, let's brace ourselves for tough times.
Yeah.
Based on the history of pandemics, the third wave is the one that's going to hit the hardest. Yeah. Just like when you have a flu, when it's coming to an end, that's when you feel like, oh my goodness, when is this going to end?
What's happening?
When you're just at the brink of the, the flu coming to an end, that's when you feel the worst.
Okay.
So brace yourself for a tough year.
Yeah, you're right.
This is going to be tougher than last year.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, guys, just brace yourselves and take good caution of yourselves, especially protecting your loved ones. If you feel like you're all safe, protect your loved ones. Let's get to the conversation now, Joyce. And I wanted to start with the journey, because you have an amazing book, and maybe, I don't know whether my producer can be able to get this book from this. It's Bouncing Back and Thriving, a very important read, because if you really want to get to know this kind of conversations, and Joyce will be telling us how she came up with this particular book. I think it's a worth read. I'm saying that because I have read it personally, and the stories here are things that will help you, especially in your journey. You know, talking to titans who are making it and thriving, and I must confess that we have held one of the titans here, and it was a very nice conversation. But before we get to the book, Joyce, I just want to ask you, what's your story? Because there's a story behind you writing this, and that's what, in a nutshell, we want to know. What's your story behind this book?
Right, great question there.
Yeah.
I was obviously in the corporate world at some point.
Okay.
Everyone who goes to school in Kenya in the 80s is encouraged to get into employment. So you know that you're going to school, getting good grades so that you can get into employment.
Yes.
And I did that and did very well.
Yeah.
At some point I was a top salesperson actually everywhere I went, I was a top salesperson.
Back into the system, before you think of maneuvering to try something else, it's like a system that has held you. You're like, oh, I don't have the energy to do these things. And I know you'll be telling us where do you get this energy to bounce back into a new way. Yeah. But just go ahead with your story.
Yeah. So as in corporate life, I've worked in the aviation industry, I've worked in the motor industry, I've worked in the insurance industry. And they say that if you can sell insurance, you can sell anything in this world. It's true. It's the toughest thing to sell. Yes. But it really does make you a resilient person. Yeah. All along, as I worked for people, I always felt like, nah, there's just something not in place. So for me, what I realized quickly was that as long as I am given targets to meet, I feel like I'm self-employed. So I threw my whole heart into selling. Wow. Because when I leave the office, it is my responsibility to make sure I come back with sales. Yeah. You know, so that's what made me feel like an intrapreneur.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I enjoyed the most. And I said, you know what, if I can sell, and also people trying to poach you all the time when you're doing your sales. When you go and try to sell to someone, they're always trying to poach you.
They love the skills. They think you should come here and do the same thing for us.
I thought to myself, why can't I employ myself? Okay. So I thought that I can replicate that corporate success in business life. Yeah. I was wrong. Okay. Apparently, there's just a different mindset. The corporate mindset is not the entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah. I wish someone had told me that. Because it's very painful to fail, especially if you have been at the top of your game before. Yeah. Yes, it's the most painful thing to just say, oh my gosh, I failed. Obviously, there's something I don't know. Yeah. So it takes a level of humility to have a conversation with yourself and say, obviously, I need to reach out and ask for help.
Okay.
Apparently, that is the secret weapon. that humility of, I don't know, help me. Just reaching out and asking someone to help you, but reaching out to the right person.
The right person.
The right person.
So from what you're saying is, you got to a particular point. No, first of all, in your journey, you still felt there was still something else that you could do.
Yeah.
So what was this point that you got and said, enough is enough? Was it a choice, or did you lose a job, or what happened?
Mm-hmm. So 2012, I started my first business.
Yeah. You passed the business, you started your own.
Yes, I started my own business.
Yeah.
And I got beginner's luck. That's what I like to call it when I think about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was beginner's luck. It did well in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the typical Kenyan statistic of 3.8 years, it fell.
Oh.
Remember, in the meantime, I had also started something else. You know, the way you're always told, you can't just rely on one thing.
Yeah.
You know, like one job, one business.
Mm-hmm.
So I had started something else on the side to support, you know, to just make sure that, you know, bread and butter, keep going.
Yes.
So I had something else on the side that if this one does not for some reason work out, this other one will work out. Mm-hmm. The following year, it failed. Yes.
Wow.
So again,
the story of many businesses, though, as you said, is the Kenyan statistic.
Yes, Kenyan statistic.
I didn't even know it had years connected to it.
3.8, and let me tell you, in 3 years, 8 months, yeah.
So if your business has survived 3 years, 8 months, you're on our way to some good tidings.
There's something you're doing right, but you need to find out what.
That's interesting. I'd like to hear from business people. If you've thrived above 3.8 years, hey, what's up? You know, let us know. Go on.
Yeah. So when that one was failing, the other one, which was definitely, I thought was doing so well. In fact, we had this huge client that was selling, you know, property worth hundreds of millions. I thought this one can't fail. I'm telling you, even that one
went down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was at a point in 2015 where now there was nothing left to do. Everything has failed. So it's that point that you realize, you know what, if everything has failed, obviously I need to reach out and ask for help.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I think the story resonates so many people. And sometimes even that point of saying, I need help, there's a pride that people have if you've been successful in a different place.
Yes.
That means you had to shed off a lot of things.
You have to shed all of that pride. You have to you have to pack your ego away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get to the place of help and get to understand. So where did you go to look for help?
So I looked for help from someone I had sought for help before when I was in the corporate world.
Okay.
Once upon a time when I was in corporate, I was doing really well. I had just become the top salesperson the year before, and I had applied for a promotion.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it, and these two things were just not adding up. So instead of fighting with my boss,
yes,
because he could explain how I didn't get that promotion, like, hello, why not me? I'm the one who was at the top last year. I knew of a business mentor, and I reached out to him when I was in corporate, and he told me, this is what you're going to do. This is your strategy for getting that promotion.
Yeah.
That strategy worked.
Wow.
So I kept in touch with the same business mentor. When my businesses failed, he's the one I reached out to.
Okay.
And that's someone who's been on this show, James Karundu.
That's James Karundu. Shout out to him. What's up?
Yeah.
He's an amazing guy. He came here and really gave a lot of good tips to entrepreneurs, especially on how to maneuver this time around. Okay.
Yeah. So
I think,
that's the person who helped me turn around. And I saw what I had done wrong.
Okay.
The first, second, and third time.
And you, at least when he advised you at first, you got a strategy and got a promotion.
Yes.
And now there was this blank time, business is going down. You went to him and he was able to help you out, is it?
He was able to help me out, and this one was much more serious than when I was in employment. Because remember, in employment, you still have the job.
Yeah.
Here, I had nothing.
Okay.
I had nothing.
Okay.
I was back to
ground zero.
Yeah, so for me, it was everything. And I like that he asked me, what finds you here again?
Yeah.
He asked that question.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think he needed to understand the depth of what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I must confess, and I have had a session as well with James. James is an amazing guy. We have brought him here, so if you really want to know, just go to the video written entrepreneurship and listen to James Karundu. And because of the demand, we shall have James Karundu once again come in here as well to really come and spice it up. So Great. So you had a session, you reached out for help, and then that's where your bouncing back story, I think, begins, isn't it?
Yes, it is. True.
I want to really hear that story. So you went through this particular helping, let me call it helping therapy.
Yes.
And now you are now in this place where you're saying, okay, I've gotten a tangent. So how did you get
maneuver?
Back? Yes.
Right. How did I get back in terms of like, how did I get now the cog moving again?
Absolutely.
What I like about the strategy he uses is that first and foremost, he tells you when you do a 90-day course, he helps you harness your own brilliance. So first and foremost, he picks out on your strengths, and that's what helps you get back in motion.
Okay.
Not focusing so much on what you did wrong, First, what is right? What do you already have in your hand?
Yeah.
That's the strategy that I liked. And then the fact that he works on your strengths, my background is in communications. So obviously writing a book, hosting a podcast, all that is just in my line. So the fact that he helps you pick out your strengths, package them. That really helps you get back on track.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have never heard of that strategy used anywhere else before. Everyone else tells you, oh, you need to do a SWOT analysis. What about if we work on your strengths first?
Yeah.
All
right. Good. And I can see the product. There's a book here already, and we can see that there was an outcome coming out. So, but before we get into now the details of the book and really addressing entrepreneurs on some of the tips they need to get so that at least they can bounce back in this season, I want to still dwell a little bit more on you.
Yes.
Looking back now, all those years and where you are now, are you satisfied? Are you happy now? Or are you saying, there are many things I would have done better?
From the time I did the Harness Your Brilliance course up to now, it's just been an amazing journey of fulfillment. Because when you start something, it's like something bigger comes out, something bigger. It's as if you've given yourself permission to grow. So I find like it's been an unraveling, bigger, better things are just coming my way. And I'm able to recognize those opportunities quickly and just grab them and just run with them. So am I fulfilled right now? Oh, yes. Is it amazing? Is it just fabulous? That, the same person also does not just let you go when you're done with a course. They keep holding your hand. And they keep calling you back. Hey, go like this, do like that. Have you seen this opportunity? So it's just been amazing.
So I'm going to still delve deep and ask you, what challenges did you face in this now journey back or this bounce back journey for yourself?
You don't expect people to support you. Let's start from there. Especially if you are not from family that's entrepreneurial. They don't understand. So you need to keep giving yourself permission to take that next step without seeking approval outside. So if you seek approval, I'm telling you, you're going to sink because you may not get it. And in your heart, what is in your heart. You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to keep on moving. So the biggest challenge is, I find, is looking for external permission. That, and the few times I tried to do that, I realized, I'm not gonna get it.
You won't get it.
I won't get it from anywhere outside. It might be family, it might be friends, it might be neighbors. You won't get it. You just need to give yourself permission to not fall into that trap of validation. That, I think, was one of my biggest. And then don't forget that you will still stumble here and there. The important thing is to not panic. Because when you panic, people think, oh gosh, she's failing again. So you need to constantly, have a conversation with yourself, motivate yourself every day to avoid falling into that plunge of, oh my gosh, this is not going right. Like when COVID started. I'm sure everyone was looking at me like, oh my gosh, is her business going to thrive the first wave, the second wave, So you constantly need to just give yourself permission. Because external validation, you won't get. Will fear come? Yes. Will you fear to fail again? Of course. But you can't let the fear rule you. Absolutely. If anything, it should be fuel for the journey. Yes.
Wow. Lovely. I think I like those particulars because people need to know that sometimes you have to have that self-drive to keep moving, because sometimes you may expect that support that you're talking about, but you really want to know that the goal is purely squarely, first of all, coming from within, and that's what you need to keep pushing on yourself. I think that's a very important tip, especially for our business people. Feel free as well to changia, if I may call it that, whatever that you feel is a drive that should be keeping you ongoing. I like the challenge that you've just faced up. And now let's get into the book. I want to jump into this book and say, let me hold one. First of all, how much is this book, if anybody wants to have it?
The book costs $1,500.
Yes.
And you can get it online.
Online?
Yes.
So if people were to reach you, is through the email that you have provided for us?
You can get me through the email.
Yes.
You can similarly buy the book on Nuria.
Yeah.
Nuria.co.ke. So
Okay.
if you just want the book, you get it on Nuria. And my contacts are on the book.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So nuria.co.ke. Can you spell that out for my producers, at least put that out?
It's Nuria.
Okay.
Nuria.
Just Nuria.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Nuria have,
Okay.
they have a delivery service.
All right.
So if you're listening to this right now and you want to order the book, you can actually get it.
Okay. So let's just dive into the book. And my question is, what should readers expect to get from this book?
So this is just an amazing book, chronicles of people who are at the top of their game. You see them driving big cars early in the morning at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And they are at the top of their game, driving the nicest, biggest cars in town. But this is a chronicle of the true story, backstory. How did they get where they are?
Yeah.
And true story is each one of them has a story of insurmountable odds that they had to face.
Yeah.
Business failure, multiple business failures.
Yeah.
Others had just, stuff in the way, stumbling blocks. And yet they were able to overcome each and every one of those.
Yeah.
So these are the stories of how people get to the top of their game. True story is people fail. But until you ask that question, nobody is willing to tell you the story. So for me, writing this book was my way of giving myself permission, like, you mean everybody fails, you just don't know the story? So I decided, let me help myself get my solutions by finding out from the other people who failed, how did they bounce back?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think behind every success, what you're saying, there is a backstory. And I love the fact that, if you don't mind, the fact that the titans that we have here, I'm going to open a page so that at least they can have a feel. I don't know whether the camera can see a little bit of this. They are amazing people here. One of them is a person we have had a conversation with here, that's Flora Mutai.
Yes.
It's good to know the backstory as well, some of the struggles they went through. I can see George Washuri, very passionate real estate mogul as well, and amazing people that you need to at least grab and see that. I'm going to put you on the spot, and I know all these people are amazing people. Yeah. But from your own perspective, I know all these stories touched you, but as an author, which one really, really, really messed you up nice, and you're like, wow, this one is an amazing story?
I think for the person whose story had touched me the most, I'll mention one lady, one gentleman.
Oh, it's okay. That's okay.
So
That's
the lady was Joanne. Joanne dug deep.
Yeah.
And for her, she had issues, and yet she couldn't fail because she was from an entrepreneurial family.
Okay.
And the fact that when she was interviewing me, I felt like she could see right through me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So for me, she ticked a lot of boxes. I felt like she was, as we were doing the interview, she was also, helping me.
Yes.
As she was doing the interview, this is what she's answering the questions and everything, but I also felt like she's talking directly to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like, that. And I thought that was really important. The thing that stood out for me from her the most was self-awareness.
Okay.
And it turned out to be quite a big deal. That maybe sometimes you're just failing in business because you don't know yourself. So when you think about the quote by Socrates, know thyself.
Yeah.
It's everything.
So what are you saying, because I'm also learning here, there is a lot of intrinsic checks. Get to know yourself more.
Yeah.
And I think that's your journey as well.
Yes.
When you went to seek help, it was more of who are you?
Yes.
And what are you good at? So that now when you're doing it, there is no struggle. But let me just be the other side. I don't like using that devil thing. Most people will say, in this country, at the talent, what? These things don't work. First of all, get a living, then you can think about those kind of things. Do you ascribe to the same school of thought?
In the world we are in right now, let me tell you, a lot of the old books are being scrapped in this season. Oh. There's a new season that has come where your talent is going to become important. In fact, the future belongs to people who know what their strengths are in the area of talent, in terms of what your gifting is. The future has arrived. It has arrived. This is the time for people who want to harness their gifts and their brilliance. Okay. Those old school books, in fact, business school, I don't know what business schools are doing right now, by the way. I don't know what they're teaching people. Because there's a lot that is happening under COVID that is scrapping the old way of doing things. The future belongs to those people who have an artistic mind. Okay.
That's important to note there. By the way, I just want to give a shout out to some of the people who are watching. Special thanks to some of my friends. I can see Dennis Wambogo, thanks a lot for this. A comment saying that, that this is a very inspiring conversation, shouting out to me here as well. Thanks a lot. I hope to work with me someday. We'll talk on that. Okay. Robert Burale is watching. Thanks a lot for checking in. Peter Nduati as well is watching. Asante sana for your shout-outs. If you have any question about bouncing back, please send them over as well. From the other side as well, I can see, Wangari is saying, great start. Looking forward to hear more. And Belvin as well. You want to know more about? I didn't get that question well. So Belvin, you want to ask that question again. Thanks a lot for all who are watching in and sending in your comments. So, as you can tell, there's so many business people who are watching here. And they're really yearning to as well get to know some of the tips. There are skill sets that are needed right now that are very important in the journey of bouncing back. I'd like you to just outline a few so that at least people can get to know, in this journey of bouncing back, these are some of the things I need to carry along with me.
So in this season, this is not a season of delegating, by the way.
Yes.
When a season like this one requires you to have certain skills that will help you for the journey of entrepreneurship. The most important skill that I find is important in this season and moving forward is your stage confidence skills.
Stage confidence skills.
Your stage confidence skills, your public speaking skills, and as many like to call them. If, for example, you're called for a show like this one at the last minute, like mine likes to do, will you start saying, I'm not ready? Excuse me, stage confidence. And that's what I help people do. I help
always be ready.
Always be ready. Say yes, jump in, and just go with the flow. It is so important in this stage in life, especially for entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter how small your business is. It doesn't matter whether you're micro or small. If you're in business, and especially if you own the business, I'm talking to you. If you're the CEO of your small business, actually that is who I focus on for my classes. I focus on CEOs because there's a conversation that people want to have with the owner of the business, the person who carries the passion. Not the head of marketing, not the head of sales. People like to do an eyeball with the owner of the business, the person who carries the passion. So are you ready to be the one to close that deal that no one wants to close with apart from you?
Wow. So what you're saying is that this is a very important skill set to be able to express yourself, speaking publicly and all that. And you've said that that's a skill that you're teaching people. So you've been training people on public speaking. That's it, is it? I have been
training CEOs on public speaking.
Wow.
And we do it either as a class or, like we come to your boardroom and do a one-on-one.
All right, so there you have it. Joyce is not only just an author, but also a trainer on matters public speaking. So I like the way you phrased it. There's a confidence word that you use.
Oh yes, let me tell you another thing about entrepreneurship. I said stage confidence. If there's something that all entrepreneurs need to clothe themselves with, something that you wear permanently on you, is your confidence.
Okay.
It will go a very long way.
And so this is an art that can be learned.
It can be learned. It's a learnable skill. Correct.
So don't say you're too shy, you know. Hey, anytime you can always learn these things and grow. But then let me ask you, in a sentence, because somebody say now, okay, these are things that, you know, you learn just here and there. In a sentence, why would learning public speaking, stage confidence be important for any business person watching? In a sentence, yeah.
People like to deal with a person who carries the passion of the business.
Yeah.
And until they deal with you, they don't know how important what it is you're doing is.
Yeah.
The person who carries the passion is the person who takes that conversation to the next level.
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to give an example of entrepreneurs I know who pitched for big business and then they were told, come and present.
Oh my.
So the business is yours.
Yes.
Come and present.
Come and present now.
And then there's always that back and forth. Who is going? I'm going. You're going. And they say no. You want the owner of the business to come and pitch.
Come
this
pitch
business.
yourself. Yeah.
There are some jobs you can't get, especially when it's huge contracts. There are some jobs you can't get until you pitch.
Okay. Let's help people a little bit. I know this is a class that people need to go and learn, but I know Joyce has not prepared you for this, but you know, we're going to help them. Let's help people.
Yeah.
So what's the first, I know the class has many modules, you know. I don't want you to just, but it would be nice. What would people, when they get in this class, what are these things that they will learn,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Would you just give a short version of how the course outline sort of is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah.
And also to say that the full outline is actually here at the back of the book.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
the
I can
full
see
outline
it.
is here at the back of the book.
Yeah.
But basically what we focus on are the 3 areas. For
Yes.
example, if you were to go and pitch for that, $1 million account,
Yeah.
these are the 3 areas that they're marking you on. They're looking at your verbal communication, not
Yes.
so important. They're looking at your non-verbal communication.
Very big.
Very big, like,
Yes.
yes, 93% big.
Yes.
And this is where people go wrong. You go focusing on, I know my stuff, that's only 7%, and you wonder, why didn't I get the business?
Yeah.
So it's why you didn't get the business is what you're going to learn, the 93%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that's what we focus on. Why you didn't get that contract, and all your papers were in order, everything was in place. What did you not know? What did you not do when you went to pitch for that business? Why didn't you get it? And then the most painful part of it is that the person who gets it is somebody who actually doesn't have the capacity. And then they come and subcontract you.
Oh my.
That is what make many people come
Yeah, it's
to
a painful
us.
thing, you know.
Because they're like,
I've experienced it sometime, and you're like, what?
yes.
Yeah.
The person who got the job doesn't have capacity.
And then they come to
then
you.
They come to you and
they
you're like,
hire you.
yeah, that's what make many people come to us. Like,
Yeah.
what do they know that I don't know?
Absolutely.
So that humility to come and learn what you don't know.
You know, somebody said this, I don't want to quote them too by name, but sometimes you have to fake even that confidence and now do the work at the back, you know, because if you're not confident enough to even speak what you have, those people who are confident and can speak very well will end up getting those jobs, as you have said.
Yes.
Yet they don't know the work, and then they will now call you up to come and do the hard work, right?
That means they know something. Again.
Okay. I'm looking at your course structure, and I just want to endear the viewers that you get to learn even how to make elevator speeches. These are the 5-minute kind of thing, is it?
Not even 5.
Yes.
45 seconds.
45 seconds.
You
That if you're in an elevator with a
Yes.
potential client who would break your business, you get to teach them how to do that, is it?
Between the ground floor and where they're going.
Yes.
Because you don't press a button when he enters the lift. You let him take you to where the floor, and then you use those 45 seconds to pitch for your business.
That's a tip.
What do you say?
That's a tip, you know?
That will make him, give me a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tip. Don't go pressing. You're going to 2nd floor, and he was going to 8th floor. Let you go with him.
Go in the lift.
Okay. I can see there's a lot of building confidence in public speaking, handling Q&A sessions, dressing, signature style. Do you want to comment on that, the importance of that?
Oh,
Just
yeah,
a
that
comment,
is
you know?
huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Uh-huh.
It's a make or break conversation.
Wow.
Yes, because it means you have to dress for your industry
Yeah.
and you have to dress for where you're going.
Okay.
Who are you pitching to? What do you know about them? You have to do your homework.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sasa, Joyce, if I may ask. You know, one of my guests here, an amazing lady, is in the brick industry, and she's making bricks from recycled material.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, for her now, how would she dress up? I'm just thinking, but I think what you're saying is it depends on the environment you're going to, is it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Know your customer.
Know your customers. Wow. Anyway, Joyce is here. She's the expert. So if you meet her, she will let you know when and where and how to dress in those particular times. I just hope I'm dressed well for this. But anyway, then there's about steps to, 4 steps to earn 6 figures as a speaker. Wow. You even help people to get to know how to earn better.
That
right?
is for motivational speakers.
Okay. Okay.
Global speakers. That is for somebody who wants to grow a career as a speaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend Robert Burale is an amazing speaker. So if you want to increase from 6 to 7 figures, you better make Joyce, you know. How to engage your audience, we've talked about that. The status, voice, and commanding stage presence. I wanted to make a comment on that. Talking about stage presence and status, voice.
So a lot of times you find that someone is introduced, and then when the person comes on stage, you're like, what happened? The person who introduced them had more stage presence than the person. What happened? You know those first few seconds when we are making our opinion about you?
Yeah.
That is why a lot of people fail that test. How do you approach that stage? What do you first do or say when you get to the stage?
Yeah.
That is where many people fail. Or you come and tell us that you are sent to read a speech. There is no such a thing. It is you who was sent. Be fully present.
You're right.
Yes.
And I see that a lot because especially our, let me call them public servants, some of them, you know, when it's speech time, you either go to sleep or something else. I don't want to mention names, you know. But what you're saying is, and I think this is more of a tip, you don't have to have that voice, but there's a way that you can speak. You can even be soft-spoken.
Yes.
But you can grab that attention.
Yeah.
So you teach on that, is it?
That's
Wow.
what it is. It's a high status voice. How do you make your voice high status?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard something about business etiquette.
That's also important because remember that if you are to ride to the top of your game, you have to go for networking events. Let's assume there's no COVID.
Yeah.
You would go in person.
Yeah.
But right now we have events virtually. Yes? So how do you carry yourself
Even
so that
when you're there.
Even when you're there. On video, there's a lot of etiquette around how do you do things so that people can take you seriously. So what happens, and you know, this was written, of course, before COVID, so we were talking about how do you behave at networking events so that you get the most out of that event.
Yeah.
Because people don't like going for events, especially networking events, but I'm telling you, they are everything.
You're right. You know, you just reminded me that there is also etiquette when it comes to even these Zoom meetings that we're seeing.
Yes.
I think I saw one person in a corner of a kitchen. It was looking a little bit, what's up? You know, and you know, you have these virtual backgrounds that you can use as well to, you know, just look a little bit professional. Even the virtual background you choose as well matters, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody's choosing a beach background and you're thinking, hello, this was a serious meeting, you know.
Exactly.
You can get even some bookshelves at the back or something.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I mean, Joyce, you're loaded. And I think people need to look for you on this. Let's get to, you know, this month has been an amazing month. I like the fact that you're in purple. Yesterday, Flora, the Women in Manufacturing Chair, had an amazing dinner. The theme color was purple as well. I like the fact that you also had some purple tea.
Yes.
So what an amazing month it was, because we had amazing ladies here as well. And, you know, special shout out as well to all the ladies who are doing amazing things here at Biznam. We appreciate you as well. And so my question to you would be this. From your own observations, are there certain specific challenges that face women specifically that they need to really be prepared for as they're looking forward to bouncing back?
For women, what I can tell you about what I have noticed is something I've even said before.
Yeah.
It's about looking for external validation. That's what I find is the challenge.
Yeah.
Women sort of, and someone even did a research and said that it seems to be a Kenyan problem.
Yeah.
That you're looking for permission outside, sort of like looking for external validation.
Yeah.
So when that research was done by somebody who's done business in this country for over 20 years, she actually put it in a book and said, you know, Kenyan women, you need to give yourselves permission, you know, to just go to that next step. I would echo that because I have seen it. So that's the challenge that women have. The other challenge, of course, is confidence.
Yeah.
You're chosen to go and sit on a board. You're the only lady. How do you make your voice heard on that board without being aggressive? How do you make your voice heard? Again, that is why we have this public speaking course. Because we do tackle that issue of how do you get your voice heard at the board? You say something, it's like nobody heard it. A man repeats it and you're like, but I said it. And when he says it, it's when they're like, yes, that's a very good idea. And you're thinking, excuse me, I already said that. What is it that you didn't do that made people not hear you? You know? And what made him get heard? What is it? That is also something else we tackle. I like that. Confidence, and confidence and validation as well. Those are things you need to watch out on. So I don't know whether you have any questions for Joyce. She's here. She's an amazing author, bouncing back and thriving, as well as a trainer when it comes to matters confidence and public speaking. So whatever question that you may have for her, if you're going through some tough time, feel free to send in your questions. So let's address the business people as well who are watching. What to you could be the biggest challenge they need to prepare for in this season? Whatever biggest challenge you feel this season you need to prepare for. I would call it be prepared to just be a student. It doesn't matter what station you are at in life. Right now, this season is going to work out for you if you stay hungry, hungry to learn new information. What's going on around you? What problems are people facing? How can you be the person that they go to solve their problems in your industry specifically? So stay hungry. Yearn to know what's new. Because like I said, some of the things in business books that were written a few years ago, imagine they're already obsolete, sorry. Find new, fresh information that is relevant.
I feel like we're in a new
industry.
world order now. There's a lot of turning and shaking that is happening, right? Especially because of this calamity that we have in here.
Exactly. So for you to stay on top, stay hungry.
Okay. Now, just we can't hide the fact that you've walked and spoken to amazing titans, if I may call them that, in business. And so one of the key questions I'd want to ask you is, what are these attributes, especially for the ladies, because of the man, you know, I'm very much specific towards that. What are some of these important attributes successful female entrepreneurs should, you know, embody themselves with, or that you have observed, and even from yourself as well, for the sake of their success? What are these attributes you think are very important for them to have?
One word, atomic habits. There's even a book called that.
Yes, Atomic Habits. Yes.
Atomic Habits.
I read it. Amazing book.
Yes. Grab that book.
Wow.
It will just really shift things, you know? Find out, because that's what I found for me is one of the key attributes for the Titans, and I have embraced it. And right now in our book club, that's the book we're reviewing. And let me tell you, it's just phenomenal, because everything revolves around you as an entrepreneur. So that means you have to have certain habits that will just make you successful, not just in this season, but in this season and beyond.
From what you're saying, Joyce, there's something about books. And I think I said this again the other time in a show, that there was a quote I quoted, that good leaders are good readers as well. And so if this is one habit that you're talking about, books, it's important to read as well. And you know, that's why you need to grab a copy of this. Send in your questions. I'm going to be reading them in a few. Let me just get through one of the questions that I've seen. What are some of the tips I think I'm trying to rephrase this question. What are some of the tips you can share for business people who are watching? I don't know what that means, but do you have any tip? I think the person is asking about any tip that you can give. But I know you have shared a lot. Is there any that is left?
Left hanging?
Yes.
I would say if you, gosh, there's so much I can teach you. Let's put it like this. If you're an entrepreneur, read like your life depends on it.
Wow.
Your personal life, your business life. Books just, just take things to that next level.
Okay. There's a question on finances. How do we get our finances when we are this broke?
You know, I'll say something about that. You know, energy flows.
Yeah.
Where you focus your attention. So if you focus on your brokenness, you'll not be able to find solutions for that brokenness. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to focus on what it is that you want.
Yeah.
So that you can get help.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I always say. You focus on your brokenness, you'll find that you're going to just be digging deeper and deeper in that direction.
Okay.
But if you say, this is what I need, then you'll be able to say, okay, I want, what do you want?
Yeah.
Actually, that's the question you need to answer. What do you want?
Okay.
Yeah. You're saying that that how do you, I don't know how he phrased it, but I had the word broken. I'm thinking, oh gosh, you're already focusing on the brokenness.
Yeah.
Focus on what you want. You don't want to be broke. You want to be?
Of course, thriving, you know.
You want to be thriving.
Yeah.
In which area? In your area of finances. So get your solutions for.
Yeah.
And for example, you can seek out a financial coach. I can leave a contact for a financial coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question here, but before I jump into this question, I want to ask you about, because as I said again, we've met in a networking forum. Where is the place of networking from where you sit, and what's the importance of that?
Well, it is everything, let me tell you. And especially if you belong to a networking organization that helps you get new business. That means there is something that you do. There's a way you've packaged yourself and you know how to ask. So if you belong to a networking organization that allows you to pitch for business and ask for what it is that you need, then you can see that the place of a networking organization is that it helps you get new business. Yes.
Wow, lovely. Let's get to this question. Life is seemingly becoming harder. Young people are giving up before they start. What do you advise? I think it's a question, I think, to young people, giving up before they even start.
Yeah.
How do you advise such people, especially for the young people? I think the question is directed more to the young people.
Yeah, I like that question because, you know, the future of this country belongs to our youth. And I think the reason why they're giving up is because there's a certain script that they've read that is no longer relevant for this season.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And we can't start now shifting blame to, oh, you know, the education system was like this, oh, you know, we focused on this, and then now we are in a world, we've been thrusted into a world, and there's no script for this world. So for me, the first thing I want to talk about is that word resilience. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, because then it means that even if a solution is staring at you, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with giving up. And that is why I always say, when you find that you're going to that place, that dark place of giving up, can you reach out and ask for help?
Reach out.
Reach out and ask for help. The other thing that will really help you is to just grow a thick skin. Because sometimes you find that that is what helps you move from I have given up to what if I wake up tomorrow and I'm alive? You have life and breath in you.
Yeah.
That means there's still something left for you to fight for.
That's true.
But when you give up, you get into a depression. Now you're heading this way.
It's going south now.
You're going south. So why don't you wake up and ask yourself, what am I good at?
Yes.
Why do people call me? What do they ask me for? Start doing and, you know, collect yourself.
Okay.
Grow a thick skin. Don't give up. So when you don't give up, then you start asking yourself, what is it that people like me for? What am I good at?
Yeah.
And then you start getting encouraged and call your friends. Wait, what am I good at? What do you like? You know, and then you can package yourself.
Yeah.
But imagine if you'd given up.
But then let me ask you, because I think you've shared something very important about part of the journey of getting to discover yourself, that sometimes the close people around you can even help you discover that.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know whether there's anything else you want to share, because maybe someone is asking, hey, now you said I need to focus on getting to know myself. Where do I start to know myself? Of course, there's getting help, ask a mentor. Then there was number 2 of people around you.
Yes.
I'm trying to milk as much from you. Is there any other left?
Okay. Let me, now that we're having this conversation, let me tell you someone who is in this book who is passionate about young people. And he even has a mentorship university. He has taken that conversation to that next level. Wow. Because I think there's a lot of talking, but there's little action. George Washuri has a mentorship university specifically for young people. Is it free? It is completely free of charge. Yeah. What do you need to do? You just need to show up. And by then not show up in person, even show up virtually. That's how passionate he is about that conversation. Because people have talked a lot about it, but have done very little in terms of this next generation. And you know, we're leaving this country for this next generation. Yeah. That is the person to go to. And I have sent many people his way. And everybody comes back and tells me,
So don't go there saying that you don't have mentors now. They're virtually people who have seen it all, done it all, and are willing to share. Just a quick shout out before we close the show to Chekumbe Emmanuel. Great insights. Thanks for watching, Chekumbe. There's also Munene David checking as well. Thanks a lot for all those comments. So we are closing up, and two things as we close up. I needed to know one more time how people can get your book and how they can get in touch with you. And then, we are talking to a variety of people across the country. What would be your parting shot? Really something that would come out of this whole thing that people need to have so they can bounce back, or if people are on their journey on bouncing back, so that at least they don't give up, as we're saying. So first of all, how they can get in touch with you and get the book, and then your parting shot.
Okay, so the book is available on nuria.co.ke, and they are autographed copies.
Yes.
If you do buy the book, my contacts are there if you need further information. Like, for example, if you want to get specifically in touch with any one of the Titans. Yeah. That was the deal we had with the Titans, that if somebody reads the book and they need to get a hold of you, you will be available. That was the deal with the book and the people who appeared. Yeah. The other thing that I would say is, the second question is, I don't remember the question, but I know the answer.
Yes, it's okay.
It's about, embracing technology. Technology. There's just so much happening right now in the way of technology, and that space is just exploding. So since COVID started, if there's an area that has just exploded, it's the tech space. Wow. See how you can plug into that. You won't go wrong.
Wow. Yeah. An amazing parting shot right there. I just want to endear our viewers, thank you so much at least for watching. But this is Bizna Kenya, and I just wanted to say something about Bizna is offering the business club. Joyce has just spoken about the power of networking, and there's a Bizna club that if you join has a lot of benefits. One of it is access to marketing, whatever product that you have. And so this is a shout out to anybody who is in business, be it small, big, medium, whatever that you have. If you're in business, you're in business. And one of the most important things is to market yourself. They say, doing business without marketing is like winking at a girl in the dark. So you don't want to be winking in the dark by yourself. So it's important. So marketing is one of the things that you get once you join that club. The other thing is publicity, definitely. Bizna celebrates over 250,000 followers. So all these people, look at them. If you want to just get 1 shilling from every follower, then there's something there for you, So publicity, definitely, and of course, networking opportunities. There are events that are organized courtesy of Business Club that will just ensure that you have these things, even virtually, and getting to learn a lot of things from them. How do you get in touch with them? info@biznakenya.com. info@biznakenya.com. Write to them, and you'll get as well to know that. And if you want to make a call, I want just to read out this number is 0722-529685. 0722-529685. That's for your opportunities right here at Business Club. And we thank you so much for always, really tuning in. And if you have a story, an amazing story of your business journey, if you have a story that you want to flow with, and really want to share some of your tips, and you feel like you are relevant as well to business people who are watching, feel free to reach out to us as well. You can even send us an inbox and say, hey, hello, I want to really come and share some of my insights as well to help business communities, because what we are doing here is purely to help each other and sharpen each other. Many thanks, Joyce, for coming, Joyce Gikunju, for coming. And you know what, because you said in your locality where you are, you did not, you could see all this tea. And Pamela, if you're watching, she couldn't get purple tea from her place, but she could get the rest, but just purple tea. I think purple tea is rare. Today, I think I'll gift you with one. There's a very nice untouched box here. So this purple tea is yours.
Thank you, Mina.
That's yours, so you will take it home. So Pamela is the one who supplies this table with a lot of this nice tea. So that's why I'm shouting out to her, because now my purple tea is running dry now. I've given out one, so at least you can enjoy. Thank you so much for coming, Joyce. It's an amazing conversation. And I hope for all the business people there that you've learned a thing or two. Thank you so much. See you next time, Friday, same time. Keep working. Now, everybody has a different story when it comes to building a business. To some, it's never an easy task to partake. And to some, they have very good stories of how they started from scratch and built their empires to profitability. And that's the reason why Bizna Kenya and MC Moments have partnered to bring you Biz Talks. Biz Talks. And here we shall be hosting mentors, people who have gone ahead of us, people who have created these empires, people who have also on the verge of creating these particular big businesses. And these lessons will be valuable for you, the business person, for you, the aspiring business person, the entrepreneur, so that at least you can make wise decisions when it comes to building that business. So every Friday at 8 a.m. on all business platforms, that's the Facebook and YouTube channel.